Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early August 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Saggies out there. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's shuffle it up one time and see what we got for you this week. Guys, talk to me about Sagittarius. And yeah, we're going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy this week, please. Okay, that card came popping out super quick, and we're going to take it. So it seems like more of this High Priestess energy will be lingering for a while, my friends. This High Priestess energy showed up for you last week, all the fire signs, almost across the whole zodiac, and it's showing up for you again front and center. So we'll have to talk about it. Lots of little intricacies in that energy, very spiritual as well. Before we really dive into that, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about our lovely High Priestess. Now, of course, this is an oracle deck. It's not a tarot deck, but she has a lot of similarities that I see with the High Priestess. Notice we have this older feminine figure, very powerful energy. In front of that crystal ball, there's a key within it and a lockbox next to her. So that does insinuate that she may be a keeper of some hidden knowledge or some secret knowledge or just something esoteric. So when I see this, of course, I think of all those archetypes. For some of you, it might be a connection to a water sign that's front and center. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But this is a big card, the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. She rules over subtle energies. So in this time, there could be a lot of things affecting you that you can't quite see, or your powers of intuition could be heightened in this time. Very subtle energies could be like really ringing the alarms for you. So listen to your intuition in this time, connect spiritually. It would be a great time for a lot of you to meditate and really reconnect or connect spiritually in some way when this High Priestess is here. But with whatever it is you're going through or dealing with, whether good, bad, or indifferent, this card tells us that the intuitive way might be the best way for the time being. It's not always right, but a lot of times it could be. So we're just going to place her right there. We're going to get into tarot now. I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. But yeah, let's get you 3 cards in the upright before we get that intuitive, juicy stuff flowing. Shuffle it up here one time for the Saggies, please, my guides. And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading. So Saggy, I will say this, in recent weeks, I've been seeing a lot of challenging energies and volatile energies around the Sagittarius collective. So hopefully you haven't been going through too many challenges, like mentally, emotionally, physically. But last week's reading was titled An Explosive Situation. We had that fire-air combination all up and down the reading. So there might have been things, I mean, explosive can be good. That's when things pick up a lot of steam. It's go time, let's do this. But it could also be things that spin a little out of hand. So that energy could still bleed over into this week. So I'd keep my eyes out. But let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Let's get you 3. What do we got for Saggy, please? Guys, what do we got for my Saggy friends? Okay, yeah, so the fire is still lingering here once again, but not necessarily in a bad way. We have the Ace of Wands in position number 1. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. Lots of possibilities with this card. That's a big card of beginnings, the start of a journey. Let's get you 2 more, actually. Thank you. Okay, the fire-air combination is still here once again. We have the Page of Swords here. Interesting. Okay, let's get 1 more out here. That's intriguing. So you might have your eyes on something or someone, or vice versa with that card being there. These are 2 big cards of communication, talks, things like that. Okay, we got the 2 of Wands. So all fire and air once again for you, Saggy. The 2 of Wands is good, but the one thing I will say about how these cards look, you know what, let's just proceed with the reading, and I'll get into that as we move along. But the 2 of Wands could be plan-based, it could be strategy. Let's go through, I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes before we get into that intuitive, juicy stuff. So, first look, first glance, obviously I've been commenting on it already. The extreme ends are fire. That's an energy you're very comfortable with, right? As a fire sign, like, you know, that could be very good, but it could also be a little out of hand sometimes. We have the air of the Page of Swords right in the center. lots of communication. But one thing I will say about all these cards is they are very good for new cycles, new endeavors, new anything. So let's go through one by one and really start to piece this together. So position number one, we have the Ace of Wands. Like I said, all aces represent opportunities. They represent the beginning of something. So with the Ace of Wands, it could be getting off to a quick start or something happening suddenly, right? Like just like with fire and air, the explosive energy, this could be something that's happening surprisingly or suddenly when I see this card. This is a card of passion, following your passions, your desires. So if it isn't things like coming up surprisingly or suddenly, you might be going with what burns a fire within you. This card can also represent one's libido or sex drive, right? So in this time, we're going to keep it PG. You might be a little more wound up than normal when the Ace of Wands is there, or this could be someone who finds you very appealing in that realm. So this could be very good, but for a lot of you, I feel like it could be something coming in suddenly or getting off to a good start. And a big thing with all aces, aside from the new and all the things I already mentioned, is their cards of communication, their cards of talking. Same could be said with that page that we're coming up on. Now, the Page of Swords is a very interesting card out of all the pages. For a portion of you, this could represent an air sign, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. As with all pages, they're students and they're messengers. So for a lot of you, it could be learning new things, stepping into new positions, learning new cycles, any new things coming into your life. So this could be good, especially if you've been coming off of some challenging times. It's a big messenger and communicator, but with this page, it is very defensive. So you might be skeptical of someone or something. You might be feeling like you have your guard up, or this could be someone you're connected to that has their guard up in this time. The Page of Swords to me is also the watcher of the tarot deck. So maybe there is something you're keeping tabs on. Maybe there is someone or something you're like just keeping tabs on, keeping an eye on it. Or this could spirit be literally saying that maybe someone's keeping an eye on you if we're not talking about communication. So there could be someone watching your moves. You might be under a microscope of some kind with this Page of Swords. The clarifier will really tell the tale as we move through the reading. So let's get this page down right here. Moving to the back end of the spread, we have the Two of Wands, a big card of strategy, strategizing. As with all twos, they're very early in the beginning of the suit. So once again, new beginnings, new cycles, changes, all that stuff. But the Two of Wands could be somebody at a make or break point, at a fork in the road, a decision, as with all twos. It could also represent partnerships and very close connections. But when I see this, it's very strategic. And when we link it with that Page of Swords, maybe there is someone that's planning something, it's up to the clarifiers and whatever it is you're going through. Maybe you're planning something or getting all your ducks in a row, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, or it could just be someone strategizing something, making a move of some sort. So we're going to put this Two of Wands here. And once again, it doesn't have to be bad, but when we mix fire and air, this is some sort of impending action, right? Because air represents the inner thought world to me. Fire is an outer expression. So there could be some sort of action or moves being made, being taken in this time. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Saggy. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for the Saggies, please. And guides, what do we got for my friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Ace of Wands. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Sagittarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Ace of Wands time. Why is this Ace of Wands here? Thank you. Seven of Swords. So fire, air showing up once again. Yeah, this is absolutely something that's coming up like very surprisingly or suddenly. I really want to discern what's coming up next to tell you if this is good, bad, or indifferent. Generally, the Seven of Swords gets a bad reputation, right? This could sometimes represent people that are a little sneaky, people we need to watch out for. So we see this card often linked to warnings. But I will say this intuitively, since it's mixing in perfectly with the fire and air. And I did say with the Ace of Wands, it could be something happening surprisingly or suddenly. This card, in its most positive form, represents something that's just out of your view, something you don't quite see just yet. So I'm not sure what every single Saggy is going through right now, but just I would say for a lot of you, unexpected situations or things could be popping up right now. Not necessarily bad, but I would say expect the unexpected in this time, because there could be a lot of surprises or surprising things, whether it is communications or situations. We'll just have to see as we press forward, because I'm not feeling like this is a bad Seven of Swords. Technically, I would still keep your eyes peeled in this time, because the Seven of Swords could be somebody trying to like obscure something or hide something. But with all this fire in air, whatever is hidden won't stay that way for long, okay? Because if we're talking about actions and planning and all the other stuff we were saying, I just feel like, yeah, there's going to be something or various things popping up out of nowhere in this time. Let's go in on that Page of Swords. For a lot of you, that could be how time has been going, right? Like situations could have just been popping up out of the blue, where it's like everything's fine, everything's dandy, then this comes in, and that comes in, and that comes in, okay? Which could be good or bad, but let's see what's up with that Page of Swords. Interesting stuff. And once again, could be talk related. So let's go in on that Page of Swords. Thank you. I mean, we got the Two of Swords in reverse underneath this Page of Swords. Absolutely, my friends. Yeah, this is somebody that has been like biding their time a little bit for a lot of you. All the surprising things could be linked into conversation, especially if there's someone you haven't heard from for quite a while. There could be various unexpected or surprising conversations and talks happening here. Now, notice we have repeating twos, a lot of low-numbered cards, more air showing up. The Two of Swords, to me, yes, it could sometimes represent confusion or indecision. In reverse, it's a card of somebody making up their mind and making a move, in my understanding. But this is also one of my biggest cards of the hidden, the unexpected, which we've been picking up these notes throughout the whole reading so far. So the fact that it's showing up in reverse under the Page of Swords, like you might hear from various people you haven't heard from in a long time, or you might be having talks or conversations that you weren't expecting to have with people you weren't expecting to have them with. Okay, once again, not necessarily saying it's a bad thing, but Saggy, there's like a lot of unexpected and surprise happening here. And I know those are broad words to use, but it's just showing up double here on the front end. So we're going to see what's up with that Two of Wands, because this is all the unplanned, unexpected. This is where we get into strategy. And then, yeah, if someone's been waiting to say something or waiting to talk, like they could be making a move. Let's see what that Two of Wands is about. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. So why is this Two of Wands here for you? Repeating numbers. For a lot of you, you could be getting lots of signs, lots of synchronicities in this time. Thank you. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. This is somebody who is wanting to switch something up big time. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse isn't necessarily a bad alignment or a bad card, because yes, it is a card of independence. Yes, it's a card of abundance and standing firm. And it, to me, when I see it, I think of a lone wolf as well. Under a card like this, Two of Wands, to me, it's like somebody wanting to change something in a big way, change the status quo or change how things have been doing. So whether it's in regards to these talks or someone making an action, when I get this Nine of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, okay, it might have been good, or I might have been fine, or things were good like that for a while, but something has to change. And I was seeing that in the Aries reading last week, and I'm kind of picking that up in Saggy now, where somebody's like, okay, let's switch this up here. Like something has to give, something has to change. So for a lot of you, if that's not something you're feeling right now, throughout the course of the next week or so, you might get that sudden urge to like, okay, we got to switch this up now. We got to change it. We got to make it happen. That's just a big vibe I'm picking up here. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Interesting stuff. Expect the unexpected for sure, my friends, with all the stuff we got going on here. But let's go through before we get the shadow card. Position number one, we do have the Ace of Wands with the Seven of Swords in the upright. So sure, this could be a little bit of a warning. This is a card of the hidden. Some spirit might be wanting you to just like keep your eyes on new things, new people, anything new entering your life. But a big thing I was picking up here is there could be a lot of like sudden things happening or unexpected, surprising situations cropping up in this time. And it could be linked to conversations and speaking and various other ways. Like there's a lot of unexpecteds here. Moving to the center, we have the Page of Swords with the Two of Swords showing up here in reverse. To me, it's somebody deciding to make a move, deciding to make an action, even if they're feeling reserved about it. For a lot of you, you could be hearing from a lot of people you haven't heard from in a while, or if there are these conversations, someone may have been wanting to have it for quite a while. But moving to the back end, we have the Two of Wands in the upright with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody deciding that something needs to change here. Like something needs to shift, something needs to change. Things were good for a while or things were sturdy, but we need to tweak this. We need to change this in some sort of way. So Saggy, please take a screenshot of that. I'm going to get you a shadow card. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. Maybe it'll tell us more about this Seven of Swords. Interesting reading, that's for sure. What do we got for Saggy? And you know me, I always like to pull a shadow card at the end of every reading. I feel like it's a nice introspective thing to do. So let's look in this Shadowland Tarot, see what's in the shadows for you. Lots of good new things here. Nine of Cups, yeah, same thing that showed up in the Aries reading. So I find this interesting how a lot of the elements have similar messages from week to week. The Nine of Cups is generally a beautiful card of wish fulfillment. So for a lot of you, this could be a good positive change coming in, especially in the shadows with all the unexpected and surprising happening. This in the shadows is one of the better cards we want to receive. Now, the Nine of Cups could warn against a couple of other things. One, Spirit could be asking you to not always put the well-being or put yourself behind others. Like this is a card that's very welcoming, very loving and caring, but you shouldn't do it at the expense of your own happiness. Maybe you're the type of person where you do that a lot. You care so much about others and you're just always putting their needs ahead of yours. Don't do anything like that at your own expense. The Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment card. So it's Spirit saying like, hey, either work towards your wishes and dreams or be careful what you wish for, because sometimes it's not always what it's cracked up to be. And another little warning with the shadow side of the Nine of Cups is that of overindulgence. So in this time, like just watch that you're not overdoing anything. Like moderation is the key. So Saggy, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. For the August subscriber surprise, I'll be picking 3 winners for 3 different tarot decks. It will be a winner's choice this month. So if you want the Gilded Tarot, it's your choice. If you want the Witch's Tarot or anything under $40 US, 3 winners will be chosen. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments what you think is the best use for tarot. Speaking to spirit, shadow work, inner work, confusion, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month in August, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. I'll see you soon.